everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Sadhana. Nice of you to drop by. So I wasn't really planning on making a video this week. This past week has been really hectic. I started my second year on Monday, and let's just say my first week of MBBS Year 2 Electric Boogaloo has just been a very jam-packed one, and I haven't really had the opportunity to kind of do other stuff other than work. But a few of you were asking me to make a video on personal statements, and I do realise that it's the 8th of October now, the day I'm filming. And I do realise that the UCAS deadline is next week on the 15th of October. So this is just kind of some last minute advice on personal statements. By the way, I'm really sorry if I keep sniffing. I think I have freshers flu again. A quick disclaimer before I get into the video: personal statements are personal, so there's no right or wrong way of writing a personal statement. You don't have to take everything from this video. You can just kind of take the bits that resonate with you and kind of leave the rest. Personal statements are a huge part of the medicine application process. Before being selected for an interview, this is the kind of first way that universities are able to kind of see your personality and kind of see who you are as an individual. It's kind of what sets you apart from the other candidates before you get selected for interview. So I'm also going to be using kind of bits and pieces from my own personal statement to kind of give you an insight into the things that you could write. So my personal statement had three main themes. They were motivation, curiosity, and evidence. So in terms of motivation, I tried to answer the age-old question of why medicine? Why am I willing to dedicate the rest of my life to this profession? So in my personal statement, I referenced my motivation to study medicine in two separate sections, the beginning and the end. And I think I did this because I think it's like really poetic kind of to reference what the beginning was at the end, because the reader's kind of reminded of what they read at the beginning. In the beginning, I wrote, I was fascinated by how organs can all work together in an intricate network to animate an organism, and how a person, such as a doctor, can grow to master the ins and outs of such a labyrinth. And at the end of my personal statement, I said, my insight into the world of medicine has shown me that it is a profession where one is constantly learning to solve puzzles and reach a bigger picture. So in terms of curiosity, I tried answering the question of what do I understand about this profession so far, and what steps have I taken to understand more about this profession. And in my personal statement, I talked about my work experience. I was lucky enough to undertake hospital work experience in the summer of year 12 going into year 13, but I do acknowledge that not everyone has that kind of experience. When talking about your insight into the world of medicine, you don't necessarily have to talk about hospital placements. You can also talk about books you might have read, journal articles, or kind of interviews and conversations you might have had with doctors, anything that kind of shows that you actively try to look into the career. So this brings me to my next point, evidence. So the whole point of this personal statement is to try and prove to unis that you're a good fit. So you don't need to outrightly say I'm a good fit, because they know that's what you're trying to say. But instead you can kind of tell them why you're a good fit and make sure you come with receipts. So when writing this bit of my personal statement, I made a list of all the qualities that I believe I saw in a good doctor or a good medical student. And I basically tried to link this with things that I had done or things that I believe showed that I could be a good doctor or a good medical student. And if you didn't do a clinical or medical work experience, this would be the perfect opportunity to kind of mention your work experience. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you did for your work experience, but it matters what you learnt from it. So for example, if you worked in a supermarket, I'm sure there was a lot of teamwork involved in that job, and teamwork is a massive part of medicine. And you probably had to manage your time effectively, and also you probably had to be a very good people person and an excellent communicator. These skills are all key to being a good doctor and a good medical student. But with that being said, in my personal statement I wrote, in order to understand what the life of a doctor entails, I undertook hospital work experience in India. Spending time shadowing a doctor in A&E further highlighted the importance of efficient teamwork in the medical profession. The way the doctors and other healthcare professionals all work together on a busy day to diagnose, prioritise and execute tasks was a thrilling event to watch. And then I back this up with the evidence. I very much enjoy the camaraderie of working with others, whether as a rowing cox or in my current roles as subject leader and deputy house captain. So with this, I've clearly highlighted the qualities that I think makes a good doctor, and I've kind of shown with my evidence how I feel like I have those qualities and how I feel like I can grow to kind of become a good doctor. And if you think that there's no kind of way of doing this without a clinical or medical work experience, I have a very good example of how you can do it without one. So there's this book by Atul Gawande called Better, and I'm sure there are many other books like this about the medical profession, by past doctors or current doctors kind of writing about what makes a good doctor or kind of experiences they have in medicine. But in this book in particular, Atul Gawande, he writes in the introduction, the first core requirement for success in medicine is diligence, the necessity of giving sufficient attention to detail to avoid error and prevail against obstacles. So if I were to use this in my personal statement, I would have mentioned this and kind of come up with an example of when I've shown diligence. So for example, a time that I did show diligence was when I had to move countries for A-level and I had to adjust to a new system. I had to kind of pay attention to every single detail and kind of prevail against those obstacles of adjusting to a new learning environment and kind of getting used to everything. So I'm not saying use that exact same example, but if you have read a book or a journal or something similar that talks about the qualities of a good doctor, or if you can kind of infer it from something else, it's a really good thing to mention and a really good thing to kind of draw out ideas from. Now, I think one of the hardest bits of writing the personal statement is finding the right words, and I really do think I was fortunate enough to eventually find the right words when it came to writing the ending of my personal statement. Because at the end of the day, your personal statement should really be something that you're proud of, something that shows who you are as a person and a future medical student. I am a diligent and motivated student who has gained resilience and adaptability as a result of living in 3 different continents. My insight into the world of medicine has shown me that it is a profession where one is constantly learning to solve puzzles to reach a bigger picture. I am eager to see what the future brings and look forward to being part of solving this puzzle with a purpose. So if you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and please do consider subscribing. Thank you so much to everyone who's already subscribed to me. It really does mean a lot, and hopefully the next time I see you, I don't have a cold and I'm not sniffling every 5 seconds. Also, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. My email is in the description. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And all the best with your personal statement and the rest of your application, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!